Hello, everyone. Dr. Dietz here, and we're talking about health from within tonight. We're going to give you just a couple moments here for everybody to log on and be able to be part of this here. If you do have any questions, you can obviously respond to us. We will have this. We are recording this both on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, so you're able to access that. I'll also be posting our website and my email if you have any questions for me here also that you'd like me to answer also. Today is part one of understanding your gut. It's part of your health within it. So it's the part one. So we're going to try and keep this a little bit shorter for you today. And then on Tuesday of next week, we're going to be doing part two of this. So health from within. We're going to talk about your gut health. We're talking about your intestinal health, what that means for you. So, but first we want to start off just a little bit who we are, what we're about. So let me click things over here and get started. First I want to talk about, what our mission, the whole point of this is we want to empower you to have that healthier life, make those better choices, be able to live the life that you are meant to live. Unfortunately, every day I see people that have been struggling with their health for years, for quite a long time, and we're able to actually make a difference and help them move in that right direction and help them make those better choices, those better decisions as we go throughout everything. And so that's why we're here. I've been practicing for, 15 years now almost. I've been doing this for a long time. Been able to see lots of different changes for everything. I get to take care of Olympic level athletes. I get to take care of professional level athletes. And I get to see that, but my real passion is seeing whole families' lives transform. And that's the best, seeing people get off medications, people reversing diabetes, people reversing cancer. Those are the things that really build me up on a daily basis, and why I love doing things like this workshop, to be able to help you, encourage and empower you to go that next step, go to that next level. So today we're going to be talking about your digestive system, your gut. So your gut is a lot of things. Your digestive system, it's your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, all the way to the anus. But it also includes your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder. So there's a lot of organs involved in this. And so this is such a huge part of your health. And something that sometimes people don't want to talk about a lot is your gut health. That's not real sexy, if you will, but it's so important. It's a huge part of what we need to do on a daily basis for our body to heal, for it to function. And I'm going to go through all that here in detail with you guys here. So one of the big things of what your gut does, it helps you absorb your nutrients. It helps you take in all the things that we're doing on a daily basis, all the foods that we do eat. So when we do this, this is critical to how our body functions. And so you've heard of you are what you eat. Well, that is correct. That is true. You are what you ate. So what are you making your body out of? Is it all about making Twinkies and Tootsie Rolls, or is you're making your body out of actual real live living foods, fruits, vegetables, meats, or what are the right things that you're eating? Are we eating a bunch of junk food? Are you eating McDonald's? Or are you eating grass-fed organic beef? And what are the things that your decisions you're making? Obviously, that's all part of this, and it's going to determine how your body heals, how your body functions, etc. So that's why this is so important. What you eat becomes who you are and what you do. It affects everything from mood, your sleep, your energy levels. All that is affected by what you eat. And if you don't believe me, just take a second and think about what are the things that you've eaten in your life at different times. Maybe you're feeling a little under the weather and you ate a bunch of sugar and dairy, and suddenly now you have more mucus, you have more, you're feeling more run down. Those are things that go right with it, because it's creating inflammation in your body, which is what we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. So you are what you eat. So your gut is what helps you, your digestive system, what absorbs all those nutrients on a daily basis and turns them into live living food. Just think about this for a second. It's dinner time right now. You guys are going to eat supper, and you're going to eat dead material. Now, this is dead food. It's not living anymore. It's already been plucked. It's already been killed, whatever. And now you're going to eat this food, and your body knows what to do. All you got to do is chew. That's all you think about. Your body does the rest. and turns it into live living cells. It creates a heart cell here. It creates a fingernail here. It creates a hair cell here. It creates a skin cell here. Your body knows what to do at all times. Doesn't need help, just nothing in the way. And so that's what we're going to talk about as we go through this, how your body is able to absorb these nutrients, take whatever it needs out of this food and turn it into live living cells. So as we get into that, we're going to talk about your microbiome here. So what is your microbiome? So this is what it's all these cells, all that you have. Your body is full of trillions of bacteria and viruses and fungi, and most of them live within your gut, in your microbiome. So there's actually more that we'll say bugs inside of you than what there are cells of you. So who's the host right now? Is it them or is it us? And so this is so important. But if you've had something like an antibiotic or anything like that, that will actually destroy the good bacteria in your gut. So you have good gut bacteria, you have bad gut bacteria. And the bacteria of what's been studied the most, more than the virus, more than the fungus in our gut. So that's what we know more about in your microbiome is your bacteria. And so you have good bacteria, you have bad bacteria. The good bacteria are called probiotics. Very important in there. Want to make sure you're getting enough of those, and we can get that through some of our foods that we eat, and also through supplementation. And so you want to make sure you have enough good gut bacteria. And like I said, if you've had any antibiotics in the past, you've taken any, especially if you've taken a lot of them, that's killed all the good gut bacteria, the things that help make us healthy. And so then it's actually going to lower your immune system. Especially as we're talking about your immune system right now, how important that is in our daily lives as we're seeing everything that's going on right now in our society. Obviously, your immune system is a huge part of that. It's not getting talked about enough, actually, in a lot of ways, and what you can do to build a strong immune system so that you don't have to live in fear of any virus or bacteria. So your gut microbiome is huge. That is what is protecting you and what's surrounding you and what's in you on a daily basis. So there is a big connection between your brain and your gut. You have over 100 billion neurons in your brain, and they communicate with every cell in your body. You have over 500 million neurons in your gut alone. And actually, as we go through this, we're going to talk about how important your gut is with this. But there's a lot of connections going back and forth. What this is doing is this is influencing your how you think. It's influencing your different reactions, your hormones. It's in your mood. All that is all controlled right through there. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more detail in just a little bit. But also so I'm going to put across here just if you have any questions, here's my personal email right here that you can ask as we're going through this. But as we go through this, want to make sure that you're getting that information. So if you do have any questions about you personally that you need to ask, here's my personal email. You can get a hold of me. I will get back to you about this. But if you have any questions, you can actually just type below here. And Carmela's monitoring this too, and we'll get back to you here today if it's something where you're doing while we're live here. Otherwise, you can just email me afterwards if you're watching this after the fact. But we talk about the gut-brain connection, but actually your gut is so important with your immune system. Over 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So this is why I want to talk about your immune system, how important this is. This is huge when we talk about being able to fight off everything. So we want to make sure our gut has the good bacteria in it. It has enough of the, and it doesn't have a lot of those bad bacteria. We don't want dysbiosis. We don't want, which is when your gut's in trouble with that, has too many bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria. We want to make sure it has the appropriate things and everything's working like it's supposed to. We're going to talk about some of the gut problems that people have, from IBS to leaky gut. We're going to go into that a little bit more detail here in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about a major part of what's going on here, why people have problems, is inflammation. And so inflammation is part of every disease process in the body. And inflammation, think about it, if you sprain your ankle, you're going to have inflammation. It's going to get hot. It's going to swell. That's irritated. So if your gut is irritated because you ate bad things, because it's just not able to function like it needs to because it's not getting enough of the right nerve supply, that this is all going to be part of that. And so when we talk about even just that feedback loop that your body has, we talk about how kind of like the safety pin cycle, how it's going to go back and forth. Your brain talks to your body, but and then your body has to send that information back up to your brain of what to do. It's this big feedback loop. But if there's any interference and there's anything stopping that can get through, and your body cannot respond appropriately. Your brain cannot respond appropriately to that, what's going on. So if there's inflammation in there, that's going to obviously cause problems. So that can happen from, like I said, eating a bunch of conventional dairy. You're going to have more mucus. You're going to have more inflammation, more irritation in there. And that's your body's natural response to try and protect yourself from that irritation, just like allergies, things like that. There's inflammation involved in that. So I know as we're going through this, there's going to be some people that have questions about what to do. So we're going to do next. I'm going to have some, if as we're going through this, I know there's some people that want to actually make a change in there. So if this is you want to make a change in your health, you want to actually find out more about us. Actually, if you text GUT to our phone number here, and Carmela will actually respond right back to you, and you can actually get you some more information about our office. If you have questions for me personally, you want to do a phone consultation with me, or if you'd like to just get in, get checked out, make sure that your body is functioning and healing the way it can, you can just click on that or just text us right there to GUT right as you're seeing right there on the screen. Well, the first thing I want to talk about here when we get into this is leaky gut. So your gut has a lining covering. It's about approximately 4,000 square feet of surface area in your gut. And when everything's working like it's supposed to, that's so it'll take those nutrients, absorb them, get them into their bloodstream, get them going to where they need to be. But if we have inflammation, we have an unhealthy gut lining in there that can increase these intestinal permeability. So other things can get through there where they shouldn't. We can use gluten as an example, can cause that. So it creates this inflammation in there that has these holes that are bigger than what they're supposed to. So now other things get through into the bloodstream, and then your body's going to respond to that because things aren't supposed to be there. Your body's going to naturally attack. And it creates this big gut problem that you have. So it's creating all this inflammation. So now your body's attacking parts of its body, thinking that there's foreign invaders in there, things that aren't supposed to be there. So now it's trying to fight. And now that these holes, this is how we get to things like irritable bowel. Leaky gut leads to irritable bowel, leads to inflammation, and it leads to these different diseases that we talked about. Crohn's. We talked about a lot of those gut issues. This is where those things are coming from, that leaky gut, where things are getting through that aren't supposed to be getting through there. And that's, like I said, we have that leaky gut and inflammation. That's where we get disease. And those are the things we want to, that Crohn's, irritable bowel, celiac. These are all from inflammation and a leaky gut together. That's where we get these disease processes. And we all know someone who has one of these right now, whether they like to talk about it or not. That person that may know where every single bathroom is in every store that you go to, because when they got to go, they got to go. And that's not a healthy gut. That's not a healthy body. Obviously, your body's able to absorb and use what you do appropriately. So that's where that comes into play. But it also causes a lot of other things, chronic fatigue, everything. Your gut controls so many other things, everything through the autism spectrum to chronic fatigue, to mood swings, to depression, a lot of other things created with this when you don't have a healthy gut. And that's why this is so important. So we're going to actually talk about what are some causes of that to start with. And a lot of that comes from poor nutrition. And as we look at this, the U.S. population, we call it kind of the SAD diet, the standard American diet, because that's what it is. It's pretty sad when we look at what people are really eating. Are they eating nutrient-dense foods? Or are they eating just pure garbage and not actually getting anything with you? For example, you can have that person that eats that McDonald's Big Mac meal where they're eating fries and all that stuff. They're eating a lot of volume, but they're hungry an hour later. Where if you're eating actually really good, healthy, organic foods, fruits and vegetables, you don't need to eat near as much and you're full a lot faster, and because your body's gotten what it needs. Now, obviously, we talk about foods like McDonald's, stuff like that, definitely not healthy. But don't get me wrong, eating that is better than eating nothing at all. But we don't want to be basing our diet on that. Obviously donut or the apple, we know which is the better choice. We first start off, we want to just start off just making that better choice. And more than 2/3 of people do not eat the fruits and vegetables at least twice a day, even, alone. And the bigger thing that we have our problem is 82% of people don't want to give up the foods that they like. We all have our favorite foods, the things that we love, whether it be that pop, whether it be that donut or that candy or whatever that you may like. Most people don't want to give it up, and I understand that. I love those things too. Just like anybody else does. We all have our favorite foods that we love to eat, but are they the foods that we should be eating? Are they healthy for us? In our country, fortunately for us, we're so blessed that, but we eat, we live to eat, and we plan everything around those meals instead of eating to live. And so we live to eat instead of eating to live. And so we look at that. And most people don't feel that they even have, a lot of people don't feel they even have the time to even meal prep or make foods or do anything. It's too much work. They don't know how to do it. And so that's where I talk about things like that in just a little bit here also. So when you're talking about that poor nutrition, so what we want to do, so our gut health diet. So how do we heal that? Well, first we got to stay away from those foods we need to avoid. So we're going to have foods that we need to avoid. Then we want to replenish our gut with the good stuff. We want to get that back. And then we want to add whatever supplementation we need to add. Because unfortunately, it'd be great if we could get all the food that we need from everything we need from our food. But unfortunately, our soil is so depleted, I don't have the same nutrients they used to have in them. And our diet is just not as diverse enough as it needs for most people, that they do need to supplement and add other things in. For example, some people just don't like fish. Fish is good. Fish is important. And if you're pulling just your fish that you're eating out of the Cedar River here, probably not the healthiest fish in the world. So we want to make sure that we're actually getting good quality things. So you got to get some good quality supplements, maybe some omegas, some fish oils, things like that. For example, vitamin D. We all need certain things that we need in our body. So we might make sure we're getting those things, those good supplements here also. We're not going to cover supplements today. That's going to be in part 2. But first, I want to talk about some foods that we wanted to avoid for your gut health. So some foods we want to avoid. We want to avoid artificial sweeteners, anything that you're reading that has a color to it. So a red and a number, or blue and any color and a number we want to completely avoid. We want to avoid those artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, high fructose corn syrup. And that has so many other names now. They've actually named it corn sugar. There's hundreds of actually different names for the same thing. It's all high fructose corn syrup, all very damaging to your immune system and very damaging to your gut. And a lot of these are known carcinogens. We know it can actually cause the sickness and disease in there. So those are things we want to avoid with that. What we want to do is we want to make sure we're putting the appropriate foods in. We want to be avoiding those things that deplete our good bacteria and actually produce those. So like I said, especially those processed foods, your frozen dinners, everything from granola bars, cereals. I know we're in the town of, we're in Crunch Town, or in Cedar Rapids, where they make crunch berries and Quaker Oats, Aunt Jemima. That's all made here. Patients that come in from Quaker Oats in the morning, they smell like Aunt Jemima. So you want pancakes and syrup here, which is just loaded with high fructose corn syrup. But these things are not good for us. Everything from hot dogs. If I don't need to tell you that hot dogs are not the healthiest thing in the world for you. So we want to be avoiding these processed foods. The more man's touched it, the worse it is for you. So we want to be avoiding that. So we want to think of things that are made by God versus things that are made by man. So something made by God doesn't have a wrapper, doesn't have an ingredients list, doesn't have that. It's just is what it is. That carrot, that apple, that pear, that celery. It doesn't have a label on it necessarily of what's in it. Those are those better choices that we want to be making. So we want to be avoiding these poor choices. And so what we want to do is we talk about what we need to do. We want to replenish. We want to put the good things in. So we want to do that. And so I wanted to go on here also for those who, like I said, want to do a consultation with me. what we're doing here tonight, I want to offer a chance for those people to actually do a free phone consultation. All I got to do is text consult, the word consult, to 319-393-1555. That's our phone number here at the office. And we'll be able to do a free phone consultation with you. All you do is text consult to that. My staff will get back to you. Carmel will get to you, and we'll set that up a time that works good for you and for me. And we'll actually set the time and be able to talk about whatever issues that you have here. So we want to replenish our gut. So how do we do that? We have to look at, one of the big things we want to put those, first of all, making those better choices. The donut or the apple, which is the better choice? We want to make that better choice. You can actually have a Twinkie or a handful of almonds. They have the same calorie count, but which is going to be better for you, the handful of almonds, obviously. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we're making the better choice there first. We want to replenish our gut. One of the big things, we want to get those omega-3 fatty acids. So getting those good fats in there. Fat is important. Your brain is made out of fat. We got to make sure you're having enough of that. And your body's going to function so much better in there. Actually, you need to eat good fats if you want to lose weight. I know it goes contrary to what a lot of you have heard in the past, but that's what it is. We need to eat more of those good fats. I want to get probiotics in our body. Good foods like that for sauerkraut, your plain organic yogurt, kimchi are all known of good bacteria, and it can help repopulate your gut. We want to make sure if the foods that the meats that you're eating are clean meats. So organic, grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken. Those are your good meats, like a wild-caught Pacific fish. Those are those better choices for you. And if you're going to change one thing first, change your meats over if you have to choose between that or going organic, change your meats first because of the toxic bioaccumulation of the pyramid of how things go there. Now, you want to change your fruits, your vegetables. Obviously, better is going to be your organic. That's going to be your better choice on that. If you grow it yourself and it's organic, that's even better yet, obviously. But that's the better choice on that. Now, a good thing for you guys is Environmental Working Group has a little app that you can have on your phone. They have something called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. They update this every year. Now, the Clean 15 don't necessarily have to be organic, but the Dirty Dozen you definitely want to be because of the toxic load that's put on these. So these are the things that you want to be changing throughout. So you want to be avoiding that Dirty Dozen and staying more with the Clean 15 if you're not going to getting organic type fruits and vegetables. So we want to start with that. So with that, we're getting to the end of part 1 here. So next time, what I'm going to be going over more of what we need to do to really to heal our gut, to get that back on the right track. So I'm going to talk more about these good foods that you should be eating, but I'll also be talking about some supplementation things you need to be doing, but also what you need to be doing physically for your body to be able to function and heal at 100%. So with that, guys, thanks so much for coming. Like I said, you can text consult to 319-393-1555 if you'd like to do a free phone consultation with me. I'm going to put up see our website going across the bottom here, a little bit more information about about us here. And I'm going to actually get rid of this one, and I'm going to show here's my personal email address. If you have questions about for yourself that you want to ask me, I can go ahead and get back to you. It's just askdrdeets@gmail.com. With that, everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. And hopefully you got something out of this. I hope to hear from a lot of you guys here soon. And then make sure you tune in next week, Tuesday, the 25th at 6 o'clock. We're going to be having part 2 of gut health, of health from within. So with that, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and hope to see you soon. Bye.